Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. Help me out, guys. Make sure you are smashing that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. 1-1 in normal time, and Aston Villa lose on penalties. Where do we start? Where, where do we start? How do we approach this? Any positives. Bogard, positive. I thought during the game, calm, composed, has been going about his business pretty well. The last two games, I thought he performed well on the pitch, so I was more than happy with what I saw from Bogard. I thought Elliott took his goal really well took goal. McGinn done some really good work to win the ball back. I thought that was good. Bezot made one good save in the game, I think, from what I can remember, the header. And then the game started actually quite positively for Aston Villa. We started quick, and then Brentford grew a bit of a foothold in the game, and we started to drift, and then we started to see some familiar patterns of what we've seen so far this season. Villa drifting in and out of a game, sometimes looking quite laboured, and then we'll get a little bit more momentum, and then we'll just drift, and then we'll invite teams back into the game. I know this is going to be quite raw, but there were some signs of different types of partnerships on show. I thought Sancho out here, Maatsen inverting was decent. That looked to be more of a partnership. But I just felt like we found it really difficult to get ball players and get that front four on the ball. We struggled to get Elliott on it at times. Marlon hardly touched the ball. Guesson so loose. His touch was bad at times. Then there was a couple of times when he actually did something quite good when he fizzed in that cross, and then Sancho managed to hit the post. There was some all right little moments in there, but again, it's just not sticking. It's not working. The touch is loose off everybody. Guesson's touch loose. Rodgers' touch loose. I mean, Roger, towards the end of the game, while the game was on, I looked at Rodgers' touch map. He touched it 8 times, and 3 of them he got dispossessed. He lost possession out of 8 touches. So again, he's only come on for a couple of minutes and he's been dispossessed. Watkins never touched the ball when he came on hardly. It's hard work. It's a hard watch. And when you break it down a little bit, we did tweak what we were doing today. Like Maatsen inverting was better. I prefer it. Sancho wide on that. I prefer it. But still, there was just a lack of cohesion, a lack of synergy. Their goal that they scored was, a quality goal. Like, it's hard to take it away. Powell's headed it out. It's gone to Hickey. He's volleyed it, and it's a worldie, and it's gone in the back of the net. And we've gone to pens, and just a bad vibe on the pens. Like, before we started them, I just thought these players, they're not in the right space for pens. They're just not. They're not confident enough. McGinn to the left saved. Cash saved. Fair play to Watkins and Buendia, stuck theirs away. But it was a game where, okay, the focus is on Sunderland. Like, the focus is Sunderland. Deep down, you're thinking Sunderland, but you kind of want something to go our way. You want some confidence. You want us to kick on and build on something, and we just can't do it. We just can't build on it. And yes, we've scored a goal. Yes, It was great. The feeling of scoring a goal was great. Elliot, hit it, and we've got to start taking more shots. Fair enough, but I just feel like we're just not quite there at the minute. We're just not quite at it, and it's frustrating that we went 1-0 up and we want to kick on in the game, and we just couldn't. And players are finding it it's difficult to watch some of them when they get the ball, because they're just not doing what you'd expect them to do. You'd expect them to touch and keep possession and move the ball quickly. And I think the biggest frustration for today is that we were pressing in a 4-4-2, and it was just very. I think this formation that Brentford played, if I can just quite quickly show you, and I think this was one of my frustrations from today, which we didn't rectify in the second half, is that if we bring on a ball, let me just bring on a ball. Let's bring on a football, right? So when they're building from the back, Brentford, and they've got possession here, and we're in like a flat 4-4-2 shape. They've always just got this spare man. So if Marlon goes to press Van den Berg and Sancho's gone here, we go to press here. There's always this spare man when we're playing 5 at the back and we're pressing out of possession. And it's just really easy for them to bypass this front 2 press. And I think a lot's been made of Villa on the ball, and some of it was good, some of it was bad today. Like, it's good and bad. We get into a good moment and something bad happens. But it's so easy at times for opposition teams to play through us and get into these situations where they're running down on a channel here and we're slightly exposed. And things seem to happen. Yet when teams are coming up against us now, we've got possession of the football, and we might be building out from the back, and Bezo's got it. So Bezo's got the ball, and they're sort of all shutting us out centrally. The space for us, and we were doing this, was to just go long. But the ball is bouncing off us, and we're not able to hold on to the ball and kind of do the basics. The ball goes to Guesson, touch control. If you can't beat your man, just go back. But it's the ball comes, and we're trying to go inside into a congested area, losing the ball. So, guys, I'm just frustrated with just basic decision making. I know people are getting frustrated of how slow it is, but I'm getting more frustrated that we can't trap it. We can't control it. We can't. It's starting to get quite frustrating, guys. It's starting to get quite frustrating. So we're going to do player ratings. I'll remember to do Buendia's player rating as well, because I know I do keep forgetting Buendia, but I'll try my best. Right, so player ratings. I mean, I've got to be honest, guys. Where's Bezos to start with? We've got to talk about Bezo's penalty. Right, Bezo's penalty saves. There's no point in being in the goal, because we can see what Bezo's weakness is, and it's saving penalties. Decent saves in the game he made. He came out and he was catching stuff. I thought that was fine. But Bezo and his penalty saves, we now know Bezo's main weakness, and it's penalty saves. And he weren't getting near none of them. So that was a weakness. So I'm being harsh, giving him a 5. I don't know, guys. I'm frustrated. I'm really frustrated. So you might have to just allow a little bit of frustration to keep in here. Let's not get too critical with my ratings. Cash. I'm gonna give a 6. Defensively, fine. Going forward, he wasn't really in those advanced positions to do things. Some of his long balls on and off. Conser, I thought, was pretty solid. He can get a 7. Bogard, I thought, was probably Villa's best player. Calm, composed, assured, not giving the ball away, reading the game well. Game goes by and you don't sometimes notice him, which I think is quite good for a defensive midfielder. It shows that he's just working and doing his work. McGinn, I thought McGinn was good. I thought he was pretty solid in the midfield, combative. I felt like he was utilising the ball left to right okay enough. I didn't feel like that was a main issue. Rodgers came on. He had that bright moment when he opened up and he got his shot away, but far too many loose touches for me. Buendia, 6. He didn't really come on and do much, did he? Watkins, I'm just giving some of them just a base flat score because they were only on for a little bit. Elliott, I'll give him a 7. Took his goal really well. Guesson, I've got to be honest, 5. That loose touch, giving the ball away far too many times. Pau, 6. He gave away the long throw, but he was 1v1. He just knocked it out for a throw-in. His header wasn't powerful enough, but, I don't think he can take all of the blame for the goal. Hickey was left free. Just a 6. Marlon, 5. Hardly touched the ball. If you can't get the ball, come deeper, get some touches, things bouncing off him. What is his best position? I've got no idea. Sancho, I thought was decent. I thought Maatsen was decent. They can get 7s. I think that there could be a little partnership blossoming. Kamara, 6. I mean, he was only on for a bit. Jimo Aloba, 6. He was only on for a little bit. So I think that's pretty much everybody. 6s because, we drew the game and some things weren't that bad. Some things were just not good. I'm really struggling to find some enthusiasm, guys. And you guys know me, and I'm positive. I look for the positives in a lot of things, and I'm just kind of struggling with some positives here, to be honest. I mean, can we just, it's basic football, guys. It's really, sometimes football's an easy game at times, but just don't overcomplicate it. I just want to just back up some of the things that I've seen tonight, really. Guesson, 3 out of 11 duels, lost possession 17 times out of 42. So this feels like there's going to be a pattern here with what I'm discussing. Marlon touched it 22 times and was dispossessed 4 times. So he's not touching the ball enough. Sancho, 86% passing accuracy. So I felt like he was good. I thought Maatsen was good. 4 out of 8 duels. Rodgers, let's have a look at Elliott to start with. Elliott, 91% passing accuracy. So, you've got to use him on the ball. If he's good on the ball, use him, give him the ball, feed him the ball. Rodgers, 10 touches, 5 touches, possession lost. So, Buendia came on, he had 16 minutes. He lost the ball 3 times in 15. So I think my main frustration at the minute is that we keep losing the football. And, you've got to build confidence. How can you build confidence if you keep having setbacks? How can you How can you build on that? It's like we had in the end, a decent result against Everton. Decent. Didn't concede. Build on it. We've made changes tonight. Okay. But these aren't changes that you can use as an excuse. You can't just go, oh, yeah, but we played a weakened team. We didn't. All these players that have played today can start games. And I said at the start of the watch along that I did that this was an opportunity for players to get into Unai's thinking, to be able to play. And has Guesson got into his thinking? No. Has Marlon got into his thinking? No. Has Maatsen? Possibly. Has Sancho? Possibly. Elliot? Yes. So there's a couple of players that you're thinking, come on now, like, I want to see something. And, some people might say, servicing to Marlon was no good. But he had time when the ball came to him, control it. There was this one moment when he took it down, came deep, spun off, hit his shot, and he went off for Watkins then. So those are the type of things that we need to start seeing more from Marlon. But, and then I think it's finding that balance now between what is actually the issue. Is the issue the formation, or is the issue the players? Because I'm starting to see questions of Emery creeping in, which is fair. But I feel like on tonight's performance, I feel like it's down to some of the players as well. We're talking about players losing the ball constantly, getting into good positions and having loose touches. Is it a bit of both? Is it the mentality? Is it staying switched on for 90? Is it an intensity problem? Is it? I'm really kind of like confused of what it actually is, because I can't pinpoint it on just one thing, because we started the game as a real fast, zippy tempo, and we were like, "Oh, this is good. Everybody's like zipping it, pinging it," but it's not sustainable. It wasn't sustainable for 25, 30 minutes. It petered out. Why is that petering out? So, I'm even seeing like Kamara coming on and losing the ball. He don't really lose the ball that much. I mean, he sometimes gets caught on the edge of his box and he'll overplay a little bit. And then what on earth has happened to Rodgers? I've no idea. But this is what I don't understand. It's just basic trap. Ball comes to him, trap it, but it's not trapping it. It's going under his foot. He's losing the ball. He's looking messy. I can't put. I don't know what's happening. I really don't. So it's frustrating. I'm not sure. Not sure what the solution is. I think it's just got to just keep going. If I'm thinking now ahead of Sunderland, I actually felt like the width on the left was better. I felt like we got something more on the left. I think we've got Maatsen and Sancho. I actually feel like that had kind of like a partnership blossoming a little bit. They've had that partnership before, but if you look at the heat maps, you've got Sancho, you've got Maatsen coming in. That two on that left-hand side was good. The opposite side, it's gonna need something. It's gonna need somebody. I mean, I actually kind of feel this, and this, it's obviously going to sound mad to some, because he'll get absolutely hammered for his performance. But I actually feel like there's a player there in Guesson, and we've got to stick with him rather than just completely write him off. but he's got to do the basics well and better. So you then start looking at this now going, Rodgers has got to play because you need to either have Rodgers or Elliott on the left now. And then one of them will be in the middle. So that's probably something that's got to happen because I don't think he's going to trust Guesson straight away now. Marlon, I've no idea what he is. To me, he should be playing off a striker. That's his best position. But Emery's playing him as a striker. And then you've got the defensive areas, double pivot. Kamara will have to come straight back in maybe against Sunderland or stick with Bogard. I feel like it's harsh on Bogard to drop Bogard. Maybe move McGinn out and go Bogard and Kamara. Maybe that's got to be the solution. So that's just my honest thoughts. Like I got loads of thoughts in my head just bouncing off, and I'm talking and I'm throwing everything out. So yeah, those are my thoughts. So let me know your thoughts on your way out. Hit the like button, helps me out. If Villa are rubbish, then at least help me out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment your thoughts. Up the Villa.